Welcome to what we're trying to do, a review of every day of the G1. And this is the first day where I didn't have to panic pre-show or in between while watching. I actually did yesterday's day 3 during intermission of day 4. Not so busy. It's a Sunday here in Tokyo, Japan, so I thought I'd just do a couple minutes to break it down. It's day 4 of the G1, and my biggest fear has come true. WWE videos, we're not the most popular channel, but WWE videos get maybe 1,000, couple thousand views, and we're trying to break 100 for New Japan. So hopefully we get more and more popular in New Japan. I put some links down below. If you do reviews, maybe we could start a community and stuff, just because I like to cover stuff that I'm also passionate about. And I love WWE, but man, they just know how to break your heart. So yeah, here's day 4. I won't be rushing as much. If you saw day 3 and day 2, I was like, okay, boom. So yeah, overall, we ask you win, loss, or a tie. What did you think of day 4? To me personally, I give it a win. They went to one camera right as the intermission was over. They didn't have the multiple camera angles, but to me, maybe I'm getting worn down by New Japan's bad product as far as presenting it. Day 2 was ridiculous. The lights, everything. So day 4 was nowhere near as bad. You had all the camera works for the first half, the least important part, and then the more important part, like, oh, we're just going back to one camera view. New Japan, you're too big of a company. G1 is too big of a tournament to be doing this. You have to get your shit together. I mean, your product is amazing, but you have to present it amazingly. Especially, if those who watched day 2, that was the first time ever watching New Japan. You lost them. They're never coming back. They're going back to Papa Vince's titties. So yeah, I know there's like three or 2 more days of the one camera shoot, but that's never have to happen again. That's a huge error, huge mistake, and they have to call it out on it. But this time they went to a one camera shot for the second half, the most important half, and it was nowhere near as bad. And the lights weren't in your face. They just managed to present it better. But hopefully, from here, man, the next year you really got to fix that. That's it. I don't want to complain about this all day, but it really does aggravate me. But let's break it down. Overall, I do give it a win, and it seems like there's a formula now for the G1. Everyone was nervous on day 1. I was confused. They changed the formula. It is 19 days long, or 19 events long. And with that, the formula seems to be we're going to have the first half just thrown together tag team matches of guys busting their ass, but it really doesn't matter about anything. And then the second half will be the tournament, and it'll go A block, B block, and all that. And even in the tournament, there's like kind of a trend where like the first 2 matches every day, you're just like, what the fuck? This is the goddamn J1. What the fuck are you doing? That's usually the first 2 matches of the tournament because you're fucking let down that fucking people like Bad Luck Fail and is fucking in the tournament. And Doc Gallows, even though Doc Gallows had his best match ever the last time he was in the tournament, but the question is, was it still good? Doc Gallows, John Cena, and Nikki Bella seem to be having a trend these days. It was the best match they've ever been in, but was it good? But overall, like usually the third match is a surprise match, and then the last 2 matches are probably the best pro wrestling in the world, and it just seems to be a trend there. Truth Slayer, legendary YouTuber. Hopefully he comes back and talks more on Twitter at day 1. It's like, dude, you need to get better undercard guys, and I absolutely agree with that. Absolutely agree with that. All right, as always, I'll be reading on NewJapanKingdom.tumblr.com the results. Also, I'd like to give a quick shout out to running in I fucking always slog this word, and I live in Japan and I love pro wrestling. ENZUIGIRI, running in Seguri. I think I said it right. Give myself like Barry Horowitz. Yeah, I lived in Japan since I've been 17. Okay, I visited often, and yeah, I never knew this site existed, and I just enjoyed it, his review, and it was up quick. They didn't fuck around. So congratulations. It's pretty good. So make sure to check that out. And also the Voices of Wrestling. They do what I do, just better. They have video clips, and they're a really popular blog, and they cover New Japan. A little too positive at times, but, you know, people like to see the matches, the voiceovers, and all that. And, yeah, so go check them out, support them. And if you guys do reviews and all that, just put it down in the comments. Back in the day, we used to have video responses. Back in the day, YouTube used to be a community. Now it consists of, I'm going to get my $5 and let's troll everyone. No, it actually used to be a community. Petridge Farms remembers. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so let me break this down. Boom, boom, boom. The matches that are amazing to watch, but you really don't get that into them because they don't matter, where they're just throwing people together. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. You got Doc Gallows, Tama Tonga, and Cody Hall defeating Captain New Japan, Tiger Mask, and Jushin Thunder Liger. And we all know how I feel about Captain New Japan. The joke has run its course. This is just basically a way to shine on the Bullet Club. Gallows hits with the Hangman's Noose on Captain Kamada. Whoops, spoilers. Captain New Japan. So there you go. Then you have Tenzan, Dorada, and David Finlay Jr. versus Yano, YOSHI-HASHI, and Geto. You have Hashi get the victory following a Swanton Bomb on Finlay. Then you got Ibushi, Jay White, AJ Styles, and Bad Luck Fail. It was under 9 minutes, but people seem to enjoy this undercard match the most. You basically, Bad Luck Fail gets the friggin' win. I got nothing. I appreciate someone left a comment on last video, and I apologize for not remembering who the commenter's name was, that he doesn't mind Fail because he looks intimidating. And I guess he can look intimidating, but I'm just not a big fan of him, and he definitely shouldn't be in the G1. And then the last one before the intermission and the tournament matches begin, you have Tanahashi, Shibuya, Taiguchi versus Naito, Makabe, and Kamutsu, and I always slaughter Kamutsu's name, always. Taiguchi wins following basically at 14 minutes, yeah, so there you go. Overall, they get the job done, but at the same time, it's such a weird feeling because you're sitting there watching these matches, but none of this matters, and you're just like, get to the tournament. But that doesn't mean the athletes are mailing it in, so it's such a weird feeling because they're putting on decent to good matches, and you just don't give a shit. At least I don't. Maybe someone else does. Maybe they're like, oh, we get to see everyone. Maybe the live audience, you get to see your favorite guys. You know, maybe you wouldn't have seen Tiger Mask in this G1 as much. Maybe you wouldn't have seen Liger. And, you know, every time Liger comes up, they're going to mention NXT and all that. So to me, I don't know. It's such a weird feeling because they're decent to good matches, and I don't give a fuck. I don't know if anyone else is that way. And the reason I don't give a fuck is because it's the G1. I'm like, no, let's get to the tournament matches. No, none of this matters. There's no storylines. There's nothing connecting. Nothing. All right, let's break this down. After the intermission, you got Ishii versus Takahashi. Ishii is really getting a lot of support. He always had a lot of support in Japan, but I noticed the English fans / North American fans / Western culture fans are really getting behind Ishii, and I was worried that he wouldn't get over with an audience outside of Japan. So I was really happy about that. Ishii does win. He hits the vertical drop style brainbuster. Ishii has 2 wins, and Takahashi has 0, so he has 0 points to 4. So it's interesting. It was a pretty decent opener, but at the same time, you're just like, all right, we got the first one out of the way. But usually, the second match is kind of shitty too, but not this time. You had Michael Elgin versus Kojima. Kojima wins following a lariat. Elgin is 0-2. Kojima is 1-1 with 2 points. But here's the thing: the headlines. Not many people. Everyone. I've said this before. I'm gonna say it again. Elgin had so much pressure on him going into this G1 that it was absolutely insane. And I know it's only day 4, and I know he's 0-2, but no, I was worried. I wanted Roderick Strong. A lot of fans that follow New Japan would rather have Roderick Strong. Elgin was coming in. People had haters. People were like, why him? I even said stuff, and I said stuff like, there's probably 10 guys, maybe, well, let's be honest, maybe 5 guys I'd rather have than Elgin in this tournament in Ring of Honor. And there was just so much pressure on him from Japanese fans, Japanese blogs, Japanese wrestling community compared to the English-speaking community. And there was pressure on both sides. And AJ Styles had a lot of pressure last year and lived up to it. And Michael Elgin, not many people knew who he was in Japan, but they said they'd rather have somebody else. The United States fans, I think we got a couple quotes saying, I'm tired of Elgin. I'm Elgined out. But no, if he wrestles like that, he can come back anytime. I was worried he wasn't G1 ready. I was worried he wasn't New Japan ready. This guy, if he keeps this up, he's going to be an international superstar, and he found a new home. The Japanese audience absolutely loves him. And you know what? I don't know the drama that happened between Elgin and Ring of Honor. I just tried to ignore it. I was like, I don't really give a shit too much. But yeah, Elgin, I'm eating some crow. I was worried about you, but no, you did an amazing job so far. You fought Okada, Kojima, even in the undercard matches. So, Michael Elgin, there's not many times where in pro wrestling there's a lot of pressure on you. Not like in the NBA or the NFL. There's just not where the whole world is basically putting so much pressure on you. And you and AJ Styles last year did not fucking disappoint. There was a lot of pressure, and going into it, the Okada match was awesome. This match was awesome. You're holding your own in the under. I guess I would call them undercard matches, non-tournament matches. So Elgin, as a guy, I was never a hater of yours, but at the same time, I wasn't fucking doing backflips when you were announced for the G1. You have absolutely amazed me. From what I've read on Twitter, from the live audience, from the blogs, you've hit a home run, and you've won Japan over, and you've won many international fans over. So it's just awesome that there was so much pressure on this guy, and boom, he's come out on top so far, and hopefully he can keep it up. Right now, I go to Japanese pro wrestling bars. I have a lot of pro wrestling fans in Japan, and right now they just think highly of Elgin. No one's talking bad about him. Pre-tournament, there wasn't I hate this guy. It was more of who is this guy, and he better not fucking suck. There was a lot of that, and Elgin just came in. Matter of fact, if it wasn't for Machine Gun, and you can even debate, he might be the best gaijin in the G1 right now. So Elgin, I don't know what your working relationship with Ring of Honor is, but as a New Japan fan living in Japan, you have a new home. Welcome. You've busted your ass and you've proved yourself. Now, you could totally throw this out the window. It's still early in the tournament. But, if I'm going to throw you under the bus saying I'd rather have Roderick Strong, and you show up and you hit home run after home run, you have to give him props. I think this is a match you have to watch. And it's just amazing seeing Elgin go from this guy better be fucking good, who is he, to the fans just fucking absolutely loving him. Absolutely loving him. So it's great to see someone strive with so much pressure on them. It's just like such a great story. And that's the beautiful thing about Japan. I don't want to say Japan, pro wrestling fans, just fans that enjoy that style. You don't have to win the match to get over. You don't. You just have to put on a great show. People say that's the way it is in WWE, but those people are full of shit. You have to win to get over that audience. You don't have to win to get over in the audience with New Japan, as long as you have great matches. And so far, you might be 0-2 in the standings, but you're 2-0 in my heart. Carl Anderson defeats Goto about 12 minutes in. And this is kind of interesting. He always starts off hot. He started off hot this year. He's 2-0 with a huge fucking upset over Nakamura. Probably the biggest upset of the G1 in years, but what a huge fucking upset, especially so early in the tournament. Anderson usually does good the first couple days, and then once the G1 starts rolling, he'll fade away. But for those that have been following New Japan for a while and might have access to Japanese media or might have just you've been following for a while, Carl Anderson was the favorite to win a G1 a couple years ago, and it's just weird how far his career has fallen. When he was teaming up with A-Train, there was a lot of hype, a lot of interviews, a lot of TV shows, not non-pro wrestling TV shows, just entertainment wrestling shows that would follow A-Train and Carl Anderson, and there was just so much hype that he was going to be a Gaijin who wins the G1. Then, Prince Devitt came along, then AJ Styles came along, and now, he fucking was in the worst storyline ever in New Japan history with Maria. So, I don't know. Maybe he's turning it around. He's collecting a lot of great wins. He defeated Gato, defeated Nakamura. A lot of people are hoping that he gets a shot at the IC title, which would be very interesting. But yeah, I wonder where Carl Anderson's go. So I guess my question of the day is, do you think Carl Anderson keeps up this momentum and he gets the destiny that he was promoted to get? He was supposed to be the first guy to win the G1. Or do you just think it's too little too late? There's so many great guys and so many great wrestlers. He missed his opportunity. So it's kind of interesting. I don't think I'd be having this conversation if he was 2-0 and didn't beat Nakamura. But Nakamura is so popular, so over, and it was just a huge shot. All right, then we got the Chaos Show. Nakamura versus Nagata. Nagata is a real big-time celebrity here in Japan, and he's been doing interviews, and one thing that he says in interviews is he wants to be the oldest IWGP champion ever. At Wrestle Kingdom 9, he was in the Legends Battle Royal, basically pre-show match, and he won it, but he was beyond pissed. He's very old, but can go. I mean, he was holding his own against Nakamura. They had a great match earlier this year. Some are saying this match was better than that match, and I don't know about that, but it was still amazing. Nagata, for his age, it is absolutely awesome. I mean, just absolutely awesome. Nakamura does win at 17 minutes following a standing style of Bumaye. And people went absolutely crazy, but people, I don't know, it was just a very enjoyable match. And would you, I don't know how many people are going to be watching this, but would you want a quick Nagata title run? I mean, because he is a legit celebrity now. Like, he never has to wrestle again. He's that hooked up on television. More people know him as being a television celebrity than a pro wrestler at this point. Like, if you went to I don't know if that's true, but it feels that way. Like, he could never wrestle again, and he'll be set celebrity status-wise. But he says he doesn't want to give up pro wrestling until he becomes the oldest IWGP champion ever. It should be interesting because I think Nakamura is arguably the best wrestler in the world. I don't know. I go back and forth with him and Okada. But he holds his own. And it's definitely a match worth watching. Nakamura gets his first win. Nagata gets his first loss, 2 points. And right now, I don't want to ever see Nakamura lose again. My dream as a pro wrestling fan, as a Team Chaos fan, is I'd like to see Nakamura Okada for the title, main eventing Wrestle Kingdom. I don't think it's going to happen, but a boy needs dreams. A boy needs dreams. I think it's a can't miss match. I think the Elgin match, this match, and the main event. The main event, you have Honma, who basically won Twitter over last night. If you were following the live tweets, everyone was Team Honma. I'm a huge Okada guy, and the live audience, was really behind Honma. And Okada wins in 18 minutes following the Rainmaker, but they had so many close finishes, so many tees. A lot of people calling Honma the ultimate underdog, and people were behind him. They really thought he could beat Okada, and the match told such a great story that you believed it. So it was absolutely awesome. So it was a great night for Team Chaos. My daughter, after we watched the G1, we went out to get a beef bowls, and while we were walking, she's like, "I love Team Chaos." She's like, "Nakamura is the best. Okada is awesome." But then she just stops and thinks. But she goes, "But Yano is bullshit." So I thought that was pretty hilarious. Yeah, so it'll be interesting where it goes. Okada and Nakamura, I volunteer and teach with the children a lot, and for the longest time, no one talked about New Japan. But this year, everyone is talking about the G1, and that's mostly thanks to Okada and Nakamura as far as Japan goes. So it was great, so overall, awesome, awesome, awesome matches. Definitely worth watching. Definitely worth checking out. And there will be one tonight in a few hours. There'll be day 5. And thanks to our friends at Running Insugiri, I totally fucked that up. We'll find out. He has listed all the matches here, but I'm just going to read the tournament matches. You got the worst fucking match possible. Hopefully they fucking surprise us. This is a goddamn G1. New Japan, you should hold your head in shame for the one camera day 2 bullshit. And the second one, you should hold your head in shame because Doc Gallows versus Bad Luck Fail is an actual fucking G1 match. Now, granted, a lot of people have been like, "Oh, not all G1 matches have been awesome." I don't remember not being ever this disappointed by the booking of this match. I can't go back and look at G1s and go, "You know what? No. This match, going into it, Doc Gallows, Bad Luck Fail, going into it was better." Maybe they surprise us. Doc Gallows, a lot of people said he had his best match. I think, what was it? I don't know. Not day 4, but day 3. A lot of people said that he had his best match ever. But still, Doc Gallows match. And Bad Luck Fail sucks so goddamn bad. You know what? I know they love stealing stuff from the NWO, who stole stuff from Japan, so I don't know who stole from who. But you know what? I know this is very not pro wrestling, but the finger poke of Doom has to come back. If one of these guys just fucking go out there and they finger poke a Doom, granted, a lot of people are going to complain. People are going to lose their shit. But for all those people that are going to complain from Japan, worldwide, wouldn't you rather see a finger poke a Doom than a Gallows versus Fail match? I hope I'm wrong. I hope I come on here and have to eat crow and be like, "Did you see the Gallows Fail match?" I hope I'm wrong. I hope the world is wrong. Next, you got Tenzan versus Yano, and there are your 2 matches in the tournament you don't give a shit about. Please, please bring in more fucking talent for the G1 next year. Then you got Makabe versus Shibata. It's going to be very interesting tonight. And the reason it's going to be very interesting is I believe both wrestlers are amazing wrestlers, but I think it's 2 different styles. And sometimes 2 different styles make a 5-star match, and sometimes 2 different styles make a shit sandwich. So it'd be very interesting to see where it goes. Then 2 dream fucking matches. Just, this is it. And this is what the G1 feels like. It feels like 2 shit matches, maybe a good match, and oh my fucking god, dream matches. You have AJ Styles versus Ibushi. Fucking just no. Just give them all your fucking money now. 9.99 yen. You haven't bought the fucking... You ever bought New Japan World yet? They're going to fucking have, in a couple hours, they're going to have AJ Styles versus Ibushi. If you love in-ring pro wrestling action, fucking just give them your credit card information. They are not a paid sponsor. Come on. Fucking, they deserve 999 yen. That's like $8 fucking dollars. That's like a goddamn McDonald's fucking Happy Meal. Then you have another dream match in Tanahashi versus Naito, and it'll be fairly interesting. Tanahashi is starting to get a little bit of heat, and I don't know. And the reason why is because he always wins. A lot of people are calling him Cena-Hashi. A lot of people are like, dun, 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 Tanahashi. But here's the big difference between Cena and Tanahashi. Tanahashi can wrestle, but every time Tanahashi gets out there, they are fucking rooting for the opponent. So hopefully it changes. And, Tanahashi uses the John Cena excuse that he's for the children. I volunteered this Saturday with probably 60 plus children. They were all excited about the G1. All they talked about was Nakamura and Okada. I went to Wrestle Kingdom 9. All anyone was wearing was Team Chaos, and Nakamura was selling merchandise like fucking crazy at Wrestle Kingdom. He was all over it in Bullet Club. So, yeah, you're a very talented wrestler. But I don't think you're as over as people make it out to be. And, I don't know. Hopefully that changes. But, I don't know. Does Naito get the win? Does he get the upset? It'd be very interesting. All right. Let's see if there's any live comments. If not, I understand. I'll just cry myself to sleep and have TNA fans say I don't have a life. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. A lot of thank yous on Facebook. No problem. Bam, bam. All right, we got some live comments. Let's see. View all comments. Sure, why not? Thank you. Oh, 5-0. Not too bad. Maybe we can make a comeback on these. Well, it's kind of my fault with day 3 and day 2. I did day 2 right before day 3 was going to start, and day 3 was actually done during the intermission of day 4. But sometimes real life gets in the way of podcasting, and that makes me sad. All right. Rob, a.k.a. Cynical, part of the KocoSports crew, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe on his Let's Play channel. Show him we got some street cred. The match was good, but it wasn't AJ Styles beating Okada good. This motherfucker. Rob loves to kick me while I'm down. He loves to kick me while I'm down. You know what? I don't even think AJ Styles beating Okada gets me riled up and heated as much as Wrestle Kingdom 9. Tanahashi beating Okada at Wrestle Kingdom 9. That, if you want to troll me and fucking try to attack my Okada fanhood, that's the match. AJ Styles beating Okada, yeah, at the time it was fucking ridiculous, I assure you. But I think Tanahashi beating him at Wrestle Kingdom 9 might top my anger meter. Randy Taylor says, very good show. Match tonight was easily Honma versus Okada. Second best tournament match behind Ibushi versus Tanahashi. All right, yeah, they have some really good matches out there. Bernalis, Brandon Matthews says, I watched this on New Japan World, and they seriously need to work with other cameras. One camera isn't going to cut it. And I agree with you 120%. Day 2 is actually horrible. And I love New Japan, and I want New Japan to get over, and I want there to be an English-speaking audience. I try to promote as many people as I can. I try to build a community. It's just something that I'm passionate about. Even if I'm not number one, if you go to Voices of Wrestling or someone else, I'm okay with that. I just want people to talk about New Japan, because if more people talk about New Japan, it will change the wrestling landscape to better matches and all that. But, yeah, as a huge New Japan supporter, I cannot tell you with a straight face to watch Day 2. Just fucking skip it. If you watch Day 2 as your first time watching New Japan, and it's not because of the athletes, it's because of the presentation, you're never watching New Japan again. Do not let friends watch Day 2. It's worse than a fucking fan cam. Worse than a fan cam. It's utterly fucking disgraceful. And not only that, but you're the second biggest goddamn company in the world. TNA! You don't have a life if you make fun of TNA! Sorry, just some TNA fans crack me up. But yeah, so basically, you're the second biggest company in the world. You're the best company in Japan. You're the best in-ring product. You need to fucking present this. And not that, the G1 is fucking huge. This is fucking embarrassing. And if I get to talk to any of the New Japan guys, and I think there's 2 more dates where it is. Now, granted, this day went to one camera shoot. Why? Because they're fucking dumb. But it wasn't as bad as Day 2. Day 2, let me tell you, it was hard. It was a challenge to watch Day 2. That's how bad the presentation was. And they still have, I think 1 or 2 more days, maybe 3 more days. It's crazy. Rick 1982 says day 4 of the tournament was great. Day 5 will also be great, especially the last 2 matches. I agree with that. I have a feeling that either Tanahashi or Styles will go 3-0 after day 5. All right, so we'll see. It's going to be interesting. LB Clash of Kings. Let me ask this: is Okada a better wrestler than AJ Styles? I don't know. That's a really tough question because a lot of people, I don't know. That's a really tough question, and I'm gonna say yes, but I'm an Okada fanboy. But I've watched AJ Styles since the NWA, IPW, hardcore, so I love AJ Styles too. Okada's a lot younger, and I don't know because like they put on 5-star matches with each other. They put on 5-star matches with other opponents. But where I see if you're a good wrestler is if you can carry someone. And AJ Styles had a sports entertainment match against Yano, and he carried Yano to a great match. And Okada carried Bad Luck Fail to a great match. So I'm going to say Okada, but I'm going to be completely honest. It would keep me up at night. It would absolutely keep me up at night. Who is better? I think AJ Styles because he's from TNA. I think AJ Styles because he's more of a name brand in North America. I think people are going to say, oh, no, AJ Styles easily. But I think if you're honest with yourself, it's very, very, very close. Okada's way younger, though. And, yeah, I think Okada's a better wrestler, but not enough to be like, Okada's way better than AJ Styles. Like, if someone says, no, I think AJ Styles is better, I'm like, oh, okay, I see your point. I think when it comes to Tanahashi, Okada, AJ Styles, Nakamura, maybe Ibushi just slightly off that. Once you get to that range, it becomes what style of wrestling you like and and who do you like as a fan. I just think it's so close to compare them. Now, I think AJ Styles is going to win a hell of a lot more awards than Okada because North America and the rest of the Western culture know about him. So, like, if you say who's going to win Wrestler of the Year, I think AJ Styles will. Who's going to win #1 in most of the polls? AJ Styles will. But I think that's just because of his Western culture popularity. But if I think Okada is a little bit better, but not to the point where I'd be like, you're wrong, I'm smart, you're an idiot. I know, I should do that more on YouTube. It seems to be the new YouTube thing. But no, I can see an argument being built up for both. And when you start talking best wrestlers of the year, you also got to consider when they take on bad opponents. And I think both these men have shown when they take on bad opponents, they can still carry them to great matches. So I'm saying Okada, but yeah. But great question, LB Clash of Kings. Lennox Wooderson, Cena-Hashi, laugh my ass off. Cena wishes. Yeah, if Cena could wrestle like Tanahashi, he would be set. He would be set. 6-0 on the likes. I'm going to try to look real quick for some comments. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's go. People make fun of me for Indiana Jones music. Sorry, man. That's what I do for stall for time. Dun, 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 bum, bum, bum. Thank you, indie wrestler Bobby Wolford, retired United States Marine, favorite of tweets with much love. LK Smarky Mark, LK, he did a video, and I was hoping to get more views. Ring of Honor and New Japan do not get the views that WWE does on this channel, and that kind of makes me sad a little bit. Even TNA doesn't get the views. It's crazy. You know, all we do is review shows here, and you can just see just from those stats how much more WWE is ahead of everyone. But if you could, LK really helped us out. He took over the channel and did a Ring of Honor review, so please check it out. All right. Hitting refresh on YouTube's. Going to the comments. Don't know if I'll find anything there. And I did. Thank you. Rick 1982 says, as much as I would like to see Carl Anderson winning G1 this year, I'm sticking to my prediction of AJ Styles winning it. To me, it looks like the roles are reversed between Okada and Styles if you look at it. Last year saw Styles attack Okada at the Invasion attack and challenge for the title, which led to Styles winning the belts at the next event. Okada would go on to win last year's G1 and main event, which is why I feel Styles will win the G1 and headline Wrestle Kingdom 10. And that wouldn't be too bad. If you're going off merchandise and popularity, even though I think Okada is better than Nakamura, and not by much, you might want to have Nakamura and AJ Styles feud. As a Chaos fan, I obviously, as a greedy internet fan, I'd love to see Okada versus Nakamura. I just think living in Japan, so many people would talk about that. That's all people would talk about. But yeah, I could see Styles, Okada in a main event. I really could. But if you go off merchandise sales in last year's Wrestle Kingdom 9 popularity, you might want to go Nakamura Styles. But yeah, it's interesting, and that's the thing. Right now, they have 4, 5, 6 guys that can main event anywhere in the world. Well, anywhere where a racist company fires Hulk Hogan for being a racist. Anywhere but, Dixie Carter. All right. If life was fair and you went off talent, these guys can main event anywhere in the world. LB Clash of Kings says, did you see the GFW new indoor arena, Coco? I've only seen clips of it on Facebook and pictures, but is that their arena? Because it looks freaking amazing. Just from what I've seen. And not only that, but there's a huge audience. The baseball thing flopped. Their introduction of rosters flopped. Granted, you have to have the first one to have the second one and all that. But you should have announced the rosters in that arena and not even done anything. I know you have the itchy trigger finger. You want to get talent. But to me, man, if you announced your roster in that arena, what a first giant step from Global Force that would have been. But yeah, I thought it looked amazing. Is that their arena? Because if that's the case, holy shit, they have stumbled along the way, but hit a home run there. The arena looked really nice, and the ring looked really nice. It was a nice presentation, and it was nice to see Jeff Jarrett's Global Force do something besides make Facebook for fucking having 6 people in a minor league stadium. Rick 1982 says, I think Block B puts on way better matches than Block A overall. I agree with that. Who would you like to see in next year's G1 Climax tournament? Well, obviously you're going to have the casting crew of New Japan. I'd like to replace some of the undercard guys. I don't think a lot of those Bullet Club guys deserve to be there. I don't know if I'd put Yano there. As my daughter said, Yano is bullshit. I don't know, maybe a couple Noah guys, maybe a Dragon Gate guy. I would invade other promotions and steal. But if you're talking about foreigners, I'd love to see ACH. I'd love to see Roderick Strong. It would be interesting just for the pressure standpoint. Elgin and Styles had a lot of pressure this year, but it's crazy amount of pressure Elgin has. I would like to see Briscoe. It would be very interesting to see if Briscoe can hang in the G1. There would be a lot of pressure on that guy. Could he hang? I mean, that would. I don't know if I'd want. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if I would choose Briscoe, but if Briscoe was chosen, I would find the pressure and how he handles it to be amazing. I think that would be a great story. And it seems like there's always a foreigner that has too much pressure on him story. Last year, AJ Styles had tremendous pressure. A lot of people don't remember that. AJ Styles had a lot of pressure because what everyone was whispering was, you only got the title because Devitt went to NXT. That's it, That's all people talked about. And they were like, you didn't earn that title. And then he wins the G1, he gets the second title. So, yeah, no, he didn't win the G1. He just proved critics wrong. I apologize for messing up there. But he had a hell of a show. I mean, he won as far as reputation and great matches go, but he didn't actually win the tournament. And this year, Elgin had so much pressure. I think it's an interesting story that people can buy into, and I think Briscoe would have that kind of pressure following him. Jay Lethal would be great. I'm just thinking of Ring of Honor guys because that seems to be where the most connections are. But yeah, I would love to see ACH. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, all right. This is from Rob. Oh, man, Enzo, Big Cass, and Carmella are showing up at WWE house shows now, and you can't teach that. Yeah, I think when it comes to Enzo and Big Cass, they just need to go up to WWE. The NXT is falling fucking apart. Just, I don't know. I just think they missed the boat on that one. All right, refreshing one more time, and then we gotta head. We gotta get out of here, folks. Boom, boom, boom. Lennox Wooderson. Okay, yeah, Lennox Wooderson. Sorry for the WWE question. No problem. Yeah, once we're done the review, it's open. You know, we're a community. We're having a conversation. I, I did all the paperwork. I did the review. Now it's just conversation time amongst friends. Lennox Wooderson. Sorry for the WWE question. Do you think WWE would ever be investigated for prejudice and racism? Would Vince step down after the skeletons come out? Who would take over? I hope so. I really hope so. Racism is a huge fucking problem. Sexism is a huge problem. I don't know. I don't know if Triple H is. I don't know because he had the thing with Shelton Benjamin. I don't know. Triple H is really slick. I know it sounds crazy. I think even though Triple H is probably a racist, I think he sneaks in there. I really do. I think Vince McMahon. I don't know. Vince McMahon might just fight it. It's a open Donald Trump and his GOP thing. I just think the biggest thing about this racist storyline is that WWE is the one firing Hogan. Like, I don't get it. I don't, okay, racism's bad, but you are one of the biggest racist publicly traded companies out there. And it's just weird. It's like the KKK firing someone because they're too racist. It's not computing in my head. It's just not. And, in America, they like to fix stuff by it making no sense. It's like, well, that flag offends me. A bunch of people died. Okay, let's get rid of the flag. Oh, Chris Benoit murdered his family. Let's get rid of steroids. Like, it never adds up. So I'm hoping, stuff that doesn't add up. Hulk Hogan gets fired for racism, and then they just clear house, and all that matters is talent. And race is a very difficult thing to talk about, but if Jack Swagger could be champion and Shelton Benjamin can't because of his promo skills, that's bullshit. That's straight up fucking bullshit. And they've been racist for a long time. And as a fan that, everyone says, what's your idea of pro wrestling? This is my idea of pro wrestling. The best wrestler who connects with the crowd should be pushed and be champion, heel or face. And if you went off talent, and I've said this before, I've said it a million times, if you go off talent and you have those three rules, sexism and racism goes away. It goes away overnight. It just absolutely goes away overnight. And that's the thing. And, I have a ton of international companies, and I have tons of employees. And it's just having open conversations, and all that matters is talent. It really eliminates racism. It does. If and it's crazy. And I've benefited from being white. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I tried out for a Marine Corps job, a very elite Marine Corps job, and they wanted 3, and I was number 4, but number 3 was a black guy, and they gave it to me because they didn't want to have a black guy in that Marine Corps unit. So that's just fucking racism. Bottom line, if you go off nothing but talent, then that eliminates sexism and racism. And the problem is, WWE doesn't do that. They handpick their golden boys, and when you handpick your golden boys and you're a racist, it's not fair to the rest of the world. And I don't know. I think if Vince McMahon does step down, because they lost $50 million in stock, it'll go back up. People forgive easily in America. But I think they're afraid of an investigation. I really do. They have to be afraid because they're just openly racist. They are openly racist. It's not even fucking close. I mean, I've been backstage at WWE, I've been backstage at FCW, been backstage at NXT. They are openly racist. Not even like a little bit. Like you're just like, oh no, it's a racist working environment. It's a sexist working environment. And an investigation, it would be, on a big scale, an investigation of WWE would be huge because it would make life more competitive and fair, which, I think everybody wants. I mean, I think you have to want that. But on the small end, just the fan side, you're going to see great pro wrestlers. You know, I mean, John Cena can do stuff. Here's the thing: you don't think John Cena's racist? I forgot. No, John Cena's fucking racist, folks. Yeah, I forgot because I remember having this conversation with Rob, and Rob's like, "Well, John Cena's a nerd. He's not racist." Oh no, that fucker's racist. Go ask, and I apologize, I don't know his name. Go ask the NXT rookie, the one that didn't stick around. Remember when Nexus invaded and he had the fucking mask on and he looks like a bodybuilder, I think former boxer. I know everything about him but his name. Go ask him if John Cena's racist. Go. Yes, John Cena's a racist. They're all fucking racist. Now, granted, I believe, and this is where I'm going to start sounding like Hogan, I believe everyone's a little bit racist, either through being uneducated or just not knowing a situation or just not being comfortable in an environment. I think just everyone's a little bit racist, and they've done studies on this. People that say they're a little bit racist usually are least racist than people that deny being racist. And I just think you just have to educate yourself. You know, you just have to educate yourself and realize, if you drop anyone in the middle of India, instantly they're gonna make mistakes, but you gotta be open-minded and listen. You drop anyone in Africa. Here's just a funny story. Like about race. I went to Africa and I went with a bunch of African Americans, and we went to a bar, and I was the only white guy for fucking miles. I was like, oh fuck, and I was nervous, and like, oh, that's racism. Like the only fucking guy for miles. And I remember they introduced ourselves, and they're like, oh, hey, how you doing? They were very friendly. Africa, my experience in Africa was absolutely amazing. I know different people have different experiences there. And they're like, hey, how you doing? And I was like, oh, I think I was only 17, maybe 18. And I shook hands with them, and I was like, oh, I'm from America. And I was like, oh, that's cool, blah, 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 and started conversations. Then they went to the other two black Marines, and like, where are you, whatever. Like, oh, I'm African American. And like, you could hear the record stop. No, you're fucking American. Get the fuck out of here. And I was just like, okay. You just educate yourself around people and try to be open-minded. And you just never know. Like, I would have never guessed. I would have never guessed a white American would get along with Africans a lot more than an African American would. But you never know. I didn't know that until I was actually there live. I don't know, that was weird news, but I was actually there in person. So, yeah, there's always going to be racism problems. But how do you get rid of that racism problem is you don't focus on it, and you just make the best guys for the job for it. Don't give a black championship title run because it makes headlines. Don't give a black championship title run because he's worthy of it. Shelton Benjamin was worthy of it. I think R-Truth should be a lot higher on the card. I think Titus O'Neil could be a WWE masturbation guy. And what I mean by that is he has the muscles, the look, and all that WWE looks for in style. There's just and Shelton Benjamin. There's no way Shelton Benjamin should have had a title run. No, it's insane. It's insane. And the thing is, you can hire more than one agent. You can hire more than one. It's WWE is old man trying not to be racist company. We're like, I'm not racist. We have this one Japanese guy. I'm not racist. Ask Del Rio. It's just let's see. It's okay to get off topic. I know with Hulk Hogan and the situation, it's kind of crazy, and it's a scary world and interesting time as far as that goes. Rick 1982 says, you think Japan will ever put a pro wrestling game for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 in the future? I really hope it happens one day. They used to be owned by Jukes, and they had Wrestle Kingdom, I think was the game. It was absolutely amazing. But then Jukes stopped making it, and they kind of took a step down. But they have an iPhone game, but it's pretty shitty. It's not bad for an iPhone game, but it's nothing compared to what WWE does and all that. But yeah, I would love to see them make it. I absolutely would, and I think with New Japan World and getting more and more popular, out because still even our small channel doesn't get the views that our WWE reviews do, but still, there's interest. There's interest. So, you know, if I did this a couple years ago, there would be no Rick 1982. There would be no Lennox Waters, and there would be no interest in it because people would be like, oh, we don't have access to it and all that. So hopefully more people get access to it. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, we have this. This guy. I'm sorry. I just keep getting trolled by this guy. This guy called us TNA haters, and then we responded to him, and he became the victim. And now we're going back and forth of, and he just keeps talking about how great his life is, and I'm just like, I love trolls. I don't understand trolls, but let's see. Basically, this is his last comment. And by the way, he just talks about how much of a winner he is, but he has no facts whatsoever. And he was snarky, and I try to respond to all comments, and I was snarky back, and that led to who loves their life better. Yep, that's what the fuck this is. Be like, it says, you don't love your life more than I do. Go and make a wrestling review. Like, LOL, bye. And they're like, no. I do love my life more. And I always wonder, like, I always wondered how long it would go. Well, this is about 18 comments in, but he's erased shit before, and it's just so weird. I love it. I don't know. I don't understand internet trolls, but I just want to see. Like, now I'm to the point of, he's not going to give any details of how his awesome life is, so we'll just keep responding. I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to be like, I love my life more than yours, and just see them get angry and angrier. And the best part is they can never have not the last word. Trolls are freaking. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. They went from being TNA haters to I love my life more than you love your life. And he's absolutely awesome. Speaking of life, hold on. Yes. Yeah, so if Reddit and YouTube has taught me anything, making videos makes you a loser, but commenting on videos makes you the biggest fucking winner in the world. So I wonder how long it would go for. We should keep it. We should keep an update on them. Oh man, I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. So we'll see. We'll see how far it goes. All right, let's refresh this and leave on a good comment. Boom, boom, boom. We're 6-1 now. See, shouldn't have brought up the trolls. People don't like it. All right. All right. Let's see. Total nonstop action. Total nonstop action. Tell your TNA fans to stop trolling people. I got to catch up, man. Haven't watched day 1 yet. My biggest suggestion is skip day 2. Just read the results. Or watch a review. Rick 1982 says, you're talking about Michael Tarver? Yeah, talk about Michael Tarver. Go find out how John Cena isn't a racist. Michael Tarver was the NXT guy, Cena potato. He did more than that. Michael Tarver was Nexus black guy name that you're thinking of, Coco. Yeah. I am Mikey says, I love the format for G1 Climax. I've been more in favor for Block B, though. Thank you for day two reviews, Coco. No problem. No more one cameras, New Japan. I think there's like 2 or 3 more days. Someone in the comments told me. I think it might have been Rick 1982 left a comment about that. I think there's still 2 more days. Maybe 3. I don't know. Plus, last night's one camera shoot was a lot better than day 2. Day 2 was ridiculous. The show takes a hurt when one camera is the stationary hard cam shot. I agree, especially that. Light was in your eyes. The angle was absolutely horrible. The guy running, it was a wreck. It really was. Lennox Witter said, do you think Joe has been a bust in NXT? Not yet. I would give him time. I think NXT has been a bust. I don't think Joe has been a bust in NXT. I mean, he's just been beating basically local competitor type guys. Where he goes from here is interesting. So, yeah, do you think Joe's been a bust? Not yet. I think it's like, if you compare him to an NFL quarterback, he's in the combine right now. He's not even, I think NXT has been a bust because it's just been absolutely horrible to watch these last couple weeks. I think that's been a bust, but I don't think Joe has been a bust yet. That's just my opinion. And it might change through time, but as of right now, I don't think there's enough you can judge him on. I mean, he sold tons of merchandise. He's over with the live audience, and he hasn't had any real opponents. So, I'm not, no. And I'm a huge Samoa Joe fan, so maybe I'm seeing it different. But I think it's safe to say he's not a bust. Now, is NXT a bust? That's a possibility. That's a possibility. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Refresh. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. Let's see. Who's trolling who? Yeah, trolls are weird. Trolls are weird. All right, there you go. All right, so check out Day 5. It's going to be on in a couple hours, New Japan World. I'll try to get the reviews up a lot quicker than Day 3 and Day 2. And hopefully, you enjoy it. And if you are reviewing it, or you're in English, doing anything in English to help get the word out about New Japan, please share in the links. All right. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out KocoSports.net. That was a blog that Jerry used to update. Hopefully he'll start updating it again. And we hopefully he'll have secret projects been really behind it. Hopefully we'll launch our secret project by September. Right now I'm just teaching a lot because I'm filling in for a lot of teachers on summer vacation. So, yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm hoping to do a Stump the Idiot soon, but I can't make no promises. Also, check out Koco Plays. It's on my Let's Play channel. All right, with that, I am over.